igniting community, a safe space to learn, share, and grow. Don't forget to like and subscribe below.
Hi there, my name is Nancy and I'm the Belly Love Coach. I am here to talk to you today about kind of a controversial, less controversial now, but maybe taboo topic for some. So I want to talk to you today about polyamory and having or being in an open relationship. Now, is this something that you've ever thought about before, whether you're single or in a relationship, short-term or long-term? I just want you to, before we talk about it further, just stay open. Because when you are closed, you might not learn something or discover something new, or just a new way of thinking or being. Being open doesn't mean that you do something. It just means you're open to the idea or the possibility of something new or learning something new. So I remember when I was in high school, our high school teacher talked about open relationships. She read a newspaper article, and I remember thinking back then, that is crazy. That's just something that I would never do. And, I would never want my husband to be with anyone else. And, I held on to that belief for many, many years. And the older I've gotten, I've been with my husband for 20 plus years. We're high school sweethearts. And this notion has become more popular now in the media and the mainstream. And I just wanted to bring it up to not talk about my own life, but to go through the questions with you to see if this is something you would be open to exploring. And if not, why not? Because when you explore these questions, you have a better understanding of yourself. And I think it's an important, healthy exercise to do on your own and then do with your partner. Because the idea that our partner is ours, it's my boyfriend, it's my husband, or I'm his, or he's my man, I'm his girl, is very possessive. And when you look at that relationship as if we own each other, like we own that person. And when you're in this relationship, this committed relationship, not only do we own his body or her body, we own their sexuality in a way that they are not allowed to look at somebody else, be with somebody else, or even think about anybody else. Like for some people, they get so jealous that they don't let their husbands, partners, wives even look or comment on somebody else. Or I remember when my husband used to be really jealous if I would comment, if I'd watch a movie and I'd say, oh my gosh, Matt Damon is so hot. And he would get really upset about that, as if because I'm his girlfriend at the time, I'm not even allowed to look at somebody else or think anything sexual or positive about someone in that way. So let's break that down. Where does that come from? This jealousy, this possessiveness. A lot of it is conditioned. We are told and conditioned to believe that monogamy is a must. It is a moral thing to do. And if you aren't monogamous completely, whether it's mentally, emotionally, and physically, then that means we're a bad person and we're unfaithful and we don't love our partner. But let me ask you, is that true? Do you think anybody else other than your partner is sexually attractive, good looking? If you think someone else is sexy, therefore you're sexually attracted to them, because that's what sexy means. And does that mean you're a bad person? Does that mean that you don't love your partner? You can think more than one person is sexy, right? I mean, you can have more than one friend. You can have different relationships with your different friendships and different relationships with different people in your lives, right? So just because, like anytime I have two children, every time I say to one, oh my gosh, you're so cute, or you did such a great job. And my other kid will say, but what about me? Am I cute? And I always tell them, just because I think one person is cute or lovely doesn't mean I don't think my other child is, right? But it's this possessive and it's childlike because, this is what children do, because we're always vying for attention and we're trying to establish who we are in the world, and we are not sure about ourselves. So we try to possess other people. And I think that's really where jealousy comes from, because I was very insecure growing up. I was insecure about how I looked, about who I was as a person. I wasn't so sure as I am today. And when you are so sure, then why does it matter that someone else, like your partner, thinks someone else is attractive, right? Is that okay? And if you're okay with that, oh my husband can think anyone else is good looking. That's fine, as long as he doesn't talk to her, or as long as he doesn't um, fantasize about her. Like, what is your line of what infidelity looks like? For some, as I said, it's just a thought. For some, it's a fantasy. For some, it's a conversation. For some, it's physical touch. So what does infidelity mean to you? And have you talked to your partner about that? And have you talked about, oh, who do you think is attractive? And in another lifetime, who would you have a relationship with? And just ask. And a lot of times we don't have these conversations because we don't want to know, because we're scared. Oh, what if he falls for her? Or what if she falls for him? And it's understandable why you might be afraid, because you love your partner so much and you're afraid to lose them. But this goes back to confidence, in that if you're so sure of who you are and what you have to offer in your relationship and what your relationship consists of, then does it matter if your partner thinks someone else is attractive? Because, as I said, I've been with my husband for a very long time. I was never really jealous because I've been so sure about his faithfulness to me, how much he loves me, how much he thinks I'm beautiful, that I've always encouraged him. If you think she's pretty, go pick her up, or go get her number, or go have a conversation, if that's what makes you feel good. And he's kind of always done that, in that he, is open to having conversations with people, not for the reason or purpose to hook up, but just to see that he can. And when he turns on his charm, he can, because he's confident. And, we all know that confidence is very attractive. And so because I'm so sure of his love for me, that it doesn't matter if he talks to anybody else, because I know that he's going to always want to be with me. Now, some people say, but how do you know? How do you really know? Because they always say, oh, I knew my husband and he had an affair. Thing is, like, I guess you never really know. And you can never really know exactly what's going to happen in the future. And but how I see it is, if my husband was meant to marry someone else or be in a relationship with somebody else, whether or not I liked it, I can't stop it. Because if that's what's meant to be, then if I say, don't do it, number one, that's going to make we all know that when we're not allowed to do something, that makes it more desirable. So, that's my little secret. If I say, go do whatever you want, he's less likely to go do it because it's not as taboo, right? I'm not saying that that's what you should do, but what I'm saying is that, like, let's say, for example, your husband had a coworker at work that he was attracted to, but he didn't say anything about it to you. And let's say he does tell you that, he thinks she's attractive, and you say, oh, and you get really jealous and insecure, and you're scared he's going to leave you for her. So you turn up your jealousy and say, okay, you're not allowed to be in the same room with her alone at any time, not allowed to talk to her or whatever. Now he's going to feel even more trapped. And if he's in a relationship with you, but you are really digging in and trapping him, then he's going to start to question, is this the kind of relationship I want to be in? So the thing is, like, if he works closely with her and he's going to fall in love with her anyway, whether or not you like it or not like it, you can't stop it. Like, love is that powerful. And so I guess I'm bringing this up to say, jealousy is a way we try to control our partners, and because of our own insecurity, we try to trap them, and we set up these rules. I knew somebody who was like, okay, in this relationship, you're not allowed to have any new guy friends. I'm not allowed to have any new girlfriends, and this is how we're going to prevent each other from having affairs. But unless you live in the middle of nowhere and talk to nobody else, how do you know that when you go to the grocery store or go to get gas, that you might not meet somebody and fall in love with them. You don't know that. You don't. It can happen. And so unless you're going to control everything about your partner's life, which some people do try, you can't control that. So what I'm suggesting is that you have these conversations and you start to let go of the control and you try to build that confidence. And it really starts with confidence in yourself, right? So I was so confident in myself that I let my husband do whatever he wants because I know that he'll never do anything that I don't want him to do, because, you know, I'm the mother of his children. Why would he ever leave me? I'm beautiful. I'm smart. You know, we've built this life together, and I know that I know who I am. But I can say that and also know that I can't control him and I can't control his fate. And if he was supposed to fall in love with somebody else, I can't stop it. I would be happy for him because I love him. If he found something that was better, which is probably impossible, but if that's the case, if you really love your partner, I would be happy for him. I want nothing but love and goodness for my husband. He's the father of my children. I want only goodness for him. So, you know, have these conversations with yourself and say, you know, how confident are you in who you are? And then how confident are you in your relationship? And what are your boundaries? And where does your jealousy come from? Where does your self-love come from? Where does your love for your partner come from? And see if there's wiggle room. Because when you can approach your relationship with a sense of discovery and curiosity, you can grow and strengthen your bond. Because when my husband and I started having these conversations, probably halfway through our relationship, so we've been together 20 years, so we started having conversations 10 years in on what that looked like. You know, we talked about, this is what I'm comfortable with, this is what I'm not comfortable with, and it changed as, you know, we were together longer. And that only strengthened our bond, because when we give each other space to breathe and not feel like the other person's controlling us, the less jealous my husband got, the more attracted to him I became, and the better our relationship became over the years, right? So, you know, when you can have these conversations in your relationship, just with a sense of openness, as I say, curiosity, sense of discovery, exploration, who knows which direction your relationship can grow in. But if you're trying to rigidly control your relationship, it will be boring. It will grow old, and really soon there will be resentment because you're being controlled, or you don't do anything because of somebody else. And ultimately that ends up eating away at marriages. So, you know, explore those things, have these conversations with yourself and then with your partner, and then see where that goes. Because, you know, we only have one life, and there's no sense in feeling trapped and miserable and not having the best sex of your life. I believe that your sexuality is so important for your health. And if you aren't having an amazing sex life, if you're not having a passionate connection with a partner, a lover, then you're missing out. And start by learning to love yourself and building your own confidence. And then when you can love yourself, then you can be better in your relationship. So if you haven't seen the other video I did this month on learning to pleasure yourself, check it out. And until next time, see you soon.